Hold on.
My niece Ashley, who very much posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family. My family was a little surprised.
Well, there was a lot going on the internet.
Tamar announced that she would be interviewing our niece Ashley on Tamar's podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea.
I am getting Ashley. You're not going to make me feel bad about that. I wanted her to come to a safe place to talk.
Blamed for something that I didn't do.
So who gave the man my address?
That's called an attorney.
Oh, he can't find my address in that letter. That house not even under my name. Because I know y'all don't give a about me. I'm not expecting y'all to really give a about me. But what I am asking about is my child.
Sit down for this one, because Tamar Braxton is officially done staying quiet. She's done playing nice, done covering for people who never had her back, and done pretending everything is sweet. This time, she showed up with receipts, raw emotions, and zero filter, and she made it loud and clear she's not holding anything in anymore. For years, we've watched the Braxton family drama unfold on TV, the sister clashes, the emotional breakdowns, and those tearful hugs that made it seem like healing always came in the end. But according to Tamar, what viewers saw was straight-up smoke and mirrors, carefully edited, cleaned up, and watered down to protect certain images. Now here's where it gets wild. Tamar says the real story behind closed doors is way darker, way messier, and way more painful than anything that ever aired on television.
And so when my house got robbed, that was really hard for me. And people that's close to me knew that. And I have gone to great lengths and spent an obscene amount of money keeping my home and keeping myself safe, because it's just Logan and myself.
Yeah.
And when that was violated, that was like, wow, so y'all giving out my address now? Well, y'all know. Because I know everybody was like, well, she lived with her mother, and everybody thought I was having financial issues. No, that wasn't the case. I just didn't feel safe anywhere.
Yeah.
You know? And it was like, I didn't want to leave from my mother's house, because if everybody has a good relationship with their parents, your home or your family's home is a safe place. Mm-hmm. So for me, it took me a long time to actually buy a house here that I actually lived in. Like, I have 3 that's just sitting here in the city because I just didn't feel safe enough to move into.
Yeah, so when they gave out that address, you just felt like they already knew what you was going through?
Yeah, man, because, not only did he send it to my house once, he sent it to my house 3 times. He sent it to my house. He had someone walking.
The version fans got was just the surface, while the real chaos stayed hidden. Tamar finally broke her silence, and she didn't come to play games. She came to set the record straight. Tamar says flat out, what viewers saw is exactly what producers wanted people to see. She's dragging reality TV for what it really is, a tightly controlled storyline where scenes get picked, chopped, and polished to fit an agenda. According to her, the real drama never makes it to air because it's too messy, too uncomfortable, and too real to show on camera. She's basically saying the audience has been watching a performance, a clean, curated version of a family that's actually cracking behind the scenes.
Up to my house. He sent it where they sent it through U.S. mail, and then they sent it there. They sent it through U.S. mail, and then they sent it through.
And it said your name on it.
Said my name, where I was, and sent it through UPS. And I'm like, I mean, are we being intentional here?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was really upset about it. And unfortunately, at that table was the first time that I had seen
them. Like, I got a cease and desist and nobody said anything.
Because it was never a factor of a cease and desist. It was the fact of who gave out my personal information.
Yeah.
My home.
Tamar says she's exhausted from pretending everything is fine, tired of covering for people who don't deserve protection, and done playing along with a fake image that hides deep problems underneath. Then things take a sharp turn. Tamar goes straight at her own sisters, calling them out by name and saying their behavior on TV is sick, not just fake, but deeply wrong.
It's about being blamed for something that I didn't do.
So who gave the man my address?
That's called an attorney.
Oh, he can't find my address in that letter. That house not even under my name. Because I know y'all don't give a about me. I'm not expecting y'all to really give about me. But what I am asking about is my child.
She says they perform for the cameras, cry on cue, hug on cue, and argue on cue like it's a script. But the real pain, the heavy family trauma, never gets addressed. That stuff gets brushed aside so the show can keep selling a perfect family image. Tamar made it clear she's done with that life, saying if people won't face the truth, they shouldn't be on TV at all. Things take a sharp turn when Tamar brings up her niece, Ashley, who had already posted videos online making accusations about the family. Tamar admits the whole situation shocked a lot of people, and the internet went into full chaos mode almost instantly. When it was announced that Ashley would be interviewed on Tamar's podcast, Tamar straight up said she knew people would think it was risky, but she didn't back down. Tamar made it clear she wasn't trying to shame Ashley or silence her.
She was trying to break it up, so we're just going to go with what she said. When she tried to separate us, I didn't feel like she tried to separate us. I felt like she tried to separate me. You get what I'm saying?
I can see why you think that.
Right, because she pushed me and turned and protected Tony.
She did.
Right? And gave you a superstar. You're the number one R&B. Right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I was feeling like.
But aren't y'all all superstars?
I mean, okay. Fine. I don't have to be, and I definitely don't have to be in my family dynamic. I'm okay with being the youngest sister of amazing siblings that I grew up with that are beautiful and talented and Black. Yeah. Okay? I don't have to be a superstar in that situation. When I'm at work, you will give me my flowers. You will respect me. But when I'm in that situation with my family, we don't even have to bring up our occupation.
Right.
And the status of our life.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah, right? I don't think so.
But I just felt like I was pushing the corner at that table. Like, I really came to discuss my niece, where's everybody head at in this, and who gave out my address. That was the objective for me. Yeah. And I didn't mean to come, in a way that was combative or aggressive. I was really trying to have a real sensible conversation. Now, when people started pushing my back up against the wall and I had to come out fighting, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Do you feel, did this happen, this whole situation, the cease and desist, was that sent before Towanda's wedding?
All of that was before Towanda's wedding.
Before Towanda's wedding.
And before the bridal shower that I was invited to, but I wasn't invited to.
Do you feel like you was uninvited because they felt like you were trying to put the family on blast with your niece, or?
I wasn't trying to put my family on blast with my niece. My niece put her experience on blast by herself.
Yeah.
And I signed up to support her. And I still am signed up to support her.
So what was Towanda's issue with you? Do you feel like that you were uninvited from the wedding? Because originally you were.
But I was uninvited from everything before the table.
Yeah.
So was I really invited to the wedding, or was that another part of being gaslit?
She said she wanted Ashley to have a safe space to speak, a place where she didn't have to pretend everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. Tamar called out the family for acting close on camera while barely speaking off camera, saying that fake unity had gone on long enough. She accused them of choosing image over honesty and money over accountability, and she positioned herself as the only one willing to say the quiet part out loud. Then it turned serious, fast. Tamar reveals a cease and desist situation involving her sister, Towanda. Yes, lawyers entered the chat. This wasn't just family drama anymore. Apparently, a certain clip caused so much tension that legal action was taken, proving this mess runs way deeper than anyone thought. Tamar starts hinting that the unseen footage holds some seriously heavy family issues, the kind of stuff the family is desperate to keep hidden at all costs. She says these are the exact things that would completely shatter the image they've worked overtime to protect. But Tamar makes it clear she's done guarding secrets for people who are trying to silence her, so she's speaking up anyway. She explains that whatever is in that clip is so serious, legal action was taken just to keep it locked away. And this is where the story turns heartbreaking. Because Tamar doesn't just speak in vague terms, she names names and shares situations that leave people stunned. She talks about her niece Ashley, her brother's daughter, and acknowledges the deep tragedy the family has already faced with the loss of Ashley's sister. Then, Tamar drops a shocking allegation, revealing that Trina's late husband allegedly sent inappropriate messages to Ashley. Nothing graphic is described, but Tamar makes it clear the situation crossed serious boundaries and caused lasting harm. She also addresses allegations of abusive behavior involving her brother, pointing to patterns of manipulation and silence. Tamar says these painful family traumas were ignored and buried to protect a polished public image on TV and social media. When she tried to confront it, she says the response wasn't healing, it was pressure to stay quiet. Tamar says the moment she tried to bring the truth into the light, her own sisters flipped on her. Instead of backing her up, they painted her as the villain for speaking on abuse and trauma inside the family. Imagine being punished for telling the truth about real pain in your own bloodline. Tamar says that's exactly what happened to her, and she's done being used as the family scapegoat. This is the core of Tamar's message, and it cuts deep. She says the Braxton family cares more about looking good than actually being good. They want to sell that perfect aspirational image on TV, the successful, beautiful, talented Black family that everyone is supposed to admire. But behind the scenes, Tamar says it's manipulation, dishonesty, and deep dysfunction running the show. When she tried to hold people accountable, when she said the family needed to face the truth and heal, she says she was shut down fast. Image was chosen over healing, every single time. Tamar makes it clear she refuses to carry blame for things she didn't do. She even brings up legal pressure, saying an attorney was contacted over misinformation, pointing out how messy and calculated things got. She says she's not asking for sympathy, but she is standing up for what really matters, especially her child. Tamar positions herself as the only one willing to risk her reputation, relationships, and peace just to tell the truth, no matter how uncomfortable it makes everyone else. Tamar's stance is clear now. If nobody else is willing to keep it real, she will. And then she drops something that makes this whole situation way more serious than gossip or TV drama. Tamar reveals she went through a terrifying home break-in. Someone actually broke into her house. Think about that fear, especially as a public figure, and especially as a mother trying to protect her child. After that incident, Tamar says she was so shaken she moved in with her mother because she no longer felt safe in her own home. She shared that she now spends serious money on security, full systems, protection, the whole setup, because safety isn't optional when you've been traumatized like that. She needed her address kept private, not for status, not for secrecy, but strictly for protection. This wasn't about being fancy or acting distant. This was about survival and making sure her child was safe after something deeply traumatic. But then comes the coldest part of all. Tamar says someone inside her own family leaked her address. Let that sink in. Her private location was given out, completely violating her trust and her safety. At that point, this stopped being regular family mess and crossed into dangerous territory. Tamar says the person knew about the break-in, knew about her fear, knew about her child, and still gave out that information. That betrayal cuts deep. Tamar makes it clear this isn't just hurt feelings. It's about safety, trust, and how far things went inside her own family. Tamar puts the question out there loud and clear. How do you put someone's life at risk just because you're mad at them? How do you gamble with a child's safety just because your feelings are hurt? She reveals that her home isn't even registered under her legal name, and that says everything about how serious her security fears really are. That move wasn't random. It was a calculated step to keep people from tracking her down. She explains that this was a whole extra layer of protection she put in place after everything she'd been through. But once that address got leaked, the entire safety setup she built collapsed. All that money, all that planning, all that effort wiped out because someone close to her decided to weaponize her private information. Tamar calls the leak dangerous and careless, and honestly, she's not wrong at all. This isn't petty family mess anymore. This is real-life danger involving real people and a child who deserves protection. Tamar even shared her own words about the trauma, saying, "When my house got robbed, that was really hard for me, and people close to me knew that." She added, "I have gone to great lengths and spent an obscene amount of money keeping my home and myself safe because it's just Logan and myself." That statement hits hard. Tamar isn't talking about drama. She's talking about survival, trust, and protecting her child at all costs. Tamar explains that once her privacy was violated, it hit her like a punch to the chest. She basically said, "Wow, so y'all really giving out my address now?" And the shock was real. She clears up a major rumor too, saying people assumed she moved in with her mother because of money problems, but that wasn't true at all. She says flat out it was about fear, not finances. She didn't feel safe anywhere, period. She talks about how a parent's home is supposed to be a safe space, a place where you can breathe and feel protected. That's why she stayed there so long. Tamar says it took her a very long time to feel secure enough to actually live in a house she bought, even though she owned multiple properties in the city that just sat empty because she didn't feel safe moving into them. Then comes the part that makes everything even darker. Tamar explains that when her address was leaked, it felt extra cruel because the person already knew exactly what she was going through. She reveals that items were sent to her home repeatedly, not just once, but multiple times. She says things were delivered directly to her house, walked up to her door, and even sent through official carriers like US Mail and UPS, clearly labeled with her name and location. That level of targeting made the situation feel invasive and threatening. Tamar makes it clear this wasn't accidental, this was deliberate, and it shattered what little sense of safety she had left. This story keeps getting deeper and more intense, so make sure you're locked in. And if you want every update, every breakdown, and every receipt as this unfolds, hit subscribe to the Juicy Reel channel now, because this drama is far from done. Tamar says she reached a point where she had to ask the obvious question out loud. Was this intentional or not? Because from where she was standing, it didn't feel accidental at all. She admits she was heated, hurt, and shaken, especially because the first time she saw certain family members face to face was at that table, right after everything blew up. She explains that people kept focusing on the cease and desist letter, but to her, that wasn't even the real issue. The real issue was who gave out her personal information, who handed over her home address and then stayed silent like nothing happened. Tamar says being blamed for something she didn't do cut deep, especially when the real danger was ignored. She makes it clear the address didn't come from her. She even points out that the house isn't under her legal name, saying, "That house not even under my name," to show how hard she worked to stay protected. She adds that she's not asking anyone to care about her feelings, but when it comes to her child, that's where the line is drawn. And just to show how broken this family dynamic really is, Tamar reveals she wasn't even invited to her sister Towanda's wedding. Her own sister got married and left her out completely. That speaks volumes about how deep the fractures run. Tamar says this wasn't about drama. It was about truth, safety, and being pushed out for speaking up. Tamar explains that she never felt like anyone was trying to split the whole family. She felt like the move was aimed directly at her. She says it felt personal, like she was the one being pushed aside while others were protected. She even admits she can see why people viewed it differently, but from her seat, the energy was clear and it stung. She talks about how certain family members were defended and elevated while she felt shoved into the corner. And when the topic of superstar status came up, Tamar made something very clear. She said she doesn't need to be the biggest star in her own family. She's perfectly fine being the youngest sister of talented, successful, beautiful Black siblings, and she meant that with her whole chest. Tamar draws a hard line between work and family. At work, she expects respect and recognition, period. But inside her family, titles and fame shouldn't even matter. She says family is supposed to be about love and basic respect, not rankings or careers. Then she circles back to why she even showed up to that table in the first place. Tamar says her goal was simple: to talk about her niece's situation and to find out who gave out her address. That was it. She says she wasn't trying to be aggressive or start a fight. She was aiming for a calm, real conversation. But once people started pushing her, she says the tone shifted fast, and that's when things went left. Tamar says once her back was against the wall, she had no choice but to come out fighting. That's how she describes the moment everything fully exploded. She confirms that the cease and desist situation happened before Towanda's wedding, before the bridal shower, and before that tense table conversation ever took place. She points out something wild, too. She was technically invited, then quietly uninvited, and then iced out completely. When asked if she was cut off because people felt she was putting the family on blast with her niece, Tamar shuts that down fast. She makes it clear, I wasn't trying to put my family on blast with my niece. She explains that her niece shared her own experience publicly, and Tamar simply chose to stand by her. She says she supported her then, and she's still supporting her now, no switching sides. That's when Tamar questions everything. Was she ever truly invited to the wedding? Or was it another case of being gaslit? She says she was uninvited from everything before that table meeting, which made it clear the decision had already been made behind her back. And let's be real, this isn't about sisters having a small argument and moving on. This is a full family breakdown. Sisters not speaking, legal threats flying, painful secrets coming to the surface, and Tamar standing in the middle saying she's done playing along. She makes it clear she's choosing truth, even if it costs her everything. She's officially done protecting people who refuse to protect her, done pushing a fake family storyline on television, done pretending everything is okay when it's clearly falling apart behind closed doors. Tamar wants people to understand that the real Braxton drama is way worse than anything viewers ever saw on TV. What aired was cleaned up, edited down, and made easy to swallow for entertainment. But the truth, the real truth, is darker, messier, and way more painful than anyone imagined. Tamar Braxton has made it clear she's not playing along anymore. She's stepping out of the illusion and saying enough is enough. And honestly, after everything she's shared, it's hard not to see why she reached this point. This is where things stand now. The family image they worked so hard to build is cracking right in front of everyone. Secrets are coming out, lines are being drawn, and Tamar is choosing honesty over silence, no matter the cost. Now it's on you. Do you think Tamar was right to speak up, or should some things stay private? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe to the Juicy Reel channel right now because this story is far from over and more details are definitely coming.